Welcome to MysteryVerse. Have you ever had a dream that felt impossible? A dream so big that you were afraid to even talk about it? Sometimes, the biggest thing standing between us and our dreams is not failure. Itéifir. Today, you're going to hear a simple but powerful English story about a young man who was afraid to take the first step. Asulisten vocabulary, pronunciation, and everyday expressions. Listen carefully. Repeat the sentences when you can. And most importantly, don't give up. Let's begin. Westéo-y. Chapter 1, A Small Dream. There was a young man named Daniel. Daniel lived in a small town with his mother. He was 24 years old, and he worked in a small grocery store. Every morning, Daniel woke up at 6 o'clock. He washed his face, prepared a simple breakfast, and walked to work. His life was quiet. It was simple. But Daniel had a dream. He wanted to become a successful photographer. Whenever he saw beautiful places, people, or interesting moments, he wanted to take pictures. Unfortunately, Daniel did not have a professional camera. He only had an old phone. One evening, Daniel was sitting outside his house. He looked at the sky and whispered, "I wish I could become a photographer." His mother heard him. She smiled and said, "Why don't you try?" Daniel looked at her. "Because I don't have enough money for a good camera." His mother sat beside him. "Daniel, you don't need everything before you begin." Daniel was silent. His mother continued, "Sometimes you have to start with what you already have." Those words stayed in Daniel's mind. Chapter 2, The First Step. The next morning, Daniel took his old phone to work. During his lunch break, he walked outside. He saw an old man sitting under a large tree. The sunlight was beautiful. Daniel took a picture. Then he took another. En annoté. At first, the pictures were not very good. Some were too dark. Some were blurry. Some were badly framed. Daniel felt disappointed. "This is terrible," he said. He almost deleted everything. But then he remembered his mother's words. You don't need everything before you begin. So Daniel decided to keep practicing. Every day he took at least 5 pictures. Sometimes he photographed people. Sometimes buildings. Sometimes flowers. Sometimes the sky. He studied photography videos online. He learned about light. He learned about angles. He learned how to tell a story through pictures. Slowly, his pictures became better. English practice. Let's pause for a moment and learn some useful expressions from the story. 1. I wish I could. This expression is used when you want something that is difficult or impossible at the moment. For example, I wish I could speak English fluently. I wish I could travel around the world. I wish I could buy a new computer. Repay. I wish I could speak English fluently. 2. Why don't you try? This is a friendly way to suggest an idea. For example, why don't you try again? Why don't you ask for help? Why don't you practice every day? Repay. Why don't you try again? 3. Start with what you have. This means you should begin using the resources that are already available to you. You don't always need perfect conditions. Repay. Start with what you have. Chapter 3, The Opportunity. 3 months passed. Daniel's photography improved significantly. One afternoon, something unexpected happened. A famous photographer named Michael visited Daniel's town. Michael was looking for beautiful locations for a photography project. While walking through the town, he saw one of Daniel's pictures online. The picture showed an old woman standing near a window. The sunlight touched her face. The picture was simple, but it was beautiful. Michael wanted to know who took it. He contacted Daniel. "Hello, did you take this photograph?" Daniel couldn't believe it. "Yes, I did." Michael replied, "This is a beautiful photograph. How long have you been taking pictures?" "Daniel's my lad." "Only 3 months." Michael was surprised. 3 months? "Yes. Would you like to help me with a photography project?" Daniel didn't answer immediately. He was nervous. He thought about all the reasons he couldn't do it. "I'm not experienced. I don't have a professional camera. What if I make a mistake?" But then he remembered his mother's words. "Start with what you have." Daniel took a deep breath. "Yes," he said. "I would love to." Chapter 4. The Difficult Day. The project started the following week. At first, everything went well. Daniel was excited. But on the 3rd day, something went wrong. Daniel accidentally deleted several important photographs. He felt terrible. "I've ruined everything," he said. Michael looked at him calmly. "Did you make a mistake?" "Yes." "Can you fix it?" "Oh." "Can you learn from it?" Daniel looked at him. "Yes." Michael smiled. Then it wasn't a complete failure. Daniel didn't understand. Michael explained. "Everyone makes mistakes. Professionals make mistakes. Beginners make mistakes. The important thing is what you do after the mistake." Daniel nodded. He realized something important. Failure was not the opposite of success. Sometimes failure was part of success. Chapter 5. Never give up. The photography project lasted 2 weeks. Daniel learned more during those 2 weeks than he had learned in several months. He learned how to work with a team. He learned how to communicate. He learned how to stay calm under pressure. And most importantly, he learned to believe in himself. At the end of the project, Michael offered Daniel a job as his assistant. Daniel couldn't believe it. He called his mother. "Mom, I got the job." His mother laughed. "I knew you could do it." Daniel looked at his old phone. The same phone he had used to take his first pictures. "Es my lad." He realized that the phone had never been the real problem. The real problem had been his fear. LESSON. Daniel's story teaches us an important lesson. You don't have to be perfect to begin. You don't need the best equipment. You don't need unlimited money. You don't need to know everything. You simply need to take the first step. Your first attempt may not be perfect. T'adore ce cas. Your English may not be perfect. T'adore ce cas. You may make mistakes. T'adore ce cas. Every expert was once a beginner. So start where you are. Use what you have. Practice every day. Learn from your mistakes. And never give up on yourself. Speaking practice. Now, let's practice some sentences from today's story. Lies ten first. Ten repé. I have a dream. Buzz. I want to improve myself. Buzz. I don't need to be perfect. Buzz. I just need to start. Buzz. I can learn from my mistakes. Buzz. I will keep practicing. Buzz. I will not give up. Buzz. I believe in myself. Buzz. An morte cadence. I don't need to be perfect. I just need to start. Vocabulary review. Let's review today's important vocabulary. Dream, something you strongly want to achieve. Practice, to do something repeatedly to improve. Opportunity, a good chance to do something. Experienced, having knowledge or skill because you have done something before. Mistake, something you do incorrectly. Failure, not achieving the result you wanted. Improve, to become better. Believe, to feel that something is true or possible. Confidence, belief in your own ability. Success, achieving something you wanted. Final message? Maybe you're learning English today because you have a dream. Maybe you want to speak confidently. Maybe you want to understand movies. Maybe you want to communicate with people from around the world. Whatever your reason is, remember Daniel's story. Don't wait until your English is perfect. Start now. Speak a little. Listen a little. Read a little. Practice every day. And slowly you will improve. Your first sentence may be difficult. Your first conversation may be uncomfortable. But that's how learning begins. So don't be afraid of mistakes. Don't compare your beginning with someone else's success. Just keep moving forward. This is MysteryVerse. If you enjoyed this English story, keep practicing with us. Listez again. Repeat the sentences. Learn the vocabulary. And, most importantly, never stop learning. See you in the next English story.